Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a little update video on the olds here. Just a quick one telling what's going on, um, and what I found in the last few weeks working on it. Damn dogs are barking. Um, I was able to get it turned around. We used a tractor to pull it, and pulled it back and then turned it back around, so now I can pull the battery charger right out of the shop, and I don't have to walk around the whole car and do all that bullshit. So that's a lot easier on me for that reason. But I think it might have been a futile attempt because I started it up last night and was playing around with it using starting fluid to keep the idle up. It won't even idle anymore. I had it for a while where it would idle in park or neutral, but when you put it in gear it would kill, or when you tried to hit the gas at all, even just to take the choke off, it would kill. But now it won't even do that. You have to be constantly spraying starting fluid or taking a screwdriver to the accelerator pump and bypassing the throttle arm and just squirting fuel into the carb via the accelerator pump. But it won't even idle without constant fuel source into the carb at this point. So what I did is, obviously with the air cleaner off, it's on now because the car is gonna be sitting for a while, I think. But I sprayed starting fluid all around my vacuum hoses to see if the engine would idle up, looking for a vacuum leak. That's one of the most efficient ways of finding it. The other way you can do it is with propane, but I don't have a propane torch right now. I have a MAP gas, and that's more expensive than propane. I'm not going to waste it on something I can use starting fluid for. But anyway, sprayed around all the vacuum hoses. No leaks up in this area. I sprayed around the sides of the intake manifold where it goes to, where it mounts to the sides of the heads, and over there is fine, and over here is fine, except for back here in this area. When I sprayed the starting fluid, the engine idled up, which means there's a vacuum leak in this area. And obviously with this air cleaner off, there's a few things that could be leaking over there. We've got a couple of vacuum lines, one coming off of this doodad. I think it's a regulator of some sort. It's hooked up to the brake booster. There's one vacuum line coming off of that. And then there's one vacuum line a ways back down in there, right there, below that wiring harness. And I'm pretty sure that hose goes around. Well, I don't know where it goes, but there's that vacuum line down there as well. I think it's actually, oh, it's right there. See that? It mates onto that that thing right there, and there's not a hose clamp on it, so that very well could be it. But this is a big vacuum leak. This is preventing the engine from running. So I think that must be some kind of transmission regulator or something. But which is odd because this car doesn't have a transmission. Anyway, the other thing that I just was looking at in the repair manual is this EGR valve right here. Is the gasket for the EGR valves can fail and cause the same issue where your car will not idle hardly at all or at all without extra fuel, because this is sucking air out of the gasket for this. And since the only leak that I can find, the only vacuum leak I can find with starting fluid is in this area, I think it's worth checking out that EGR gasket and or EGR valve, which is about $30 off of Rock Auto. See there, the gasket's kind of, oops, down there. Gasket's kind of, here we go, kind of crusty in there, and it probably did catch on fire during that carburetor fire I had about a month ago. So that's definitely a possibility. So I'm gonna buy that gasket. You can get them at Napa. But the EGR valve itself is a Rock Auto part. It's about $30 or $40 plus shipping. So I'll be getting those things and taking off that EGR valve and replacing it, just because it's easy to get to, and it's worth doing to rule it out, to see if it's the intake manifold or if it's just that gasket. If it is that gasket, that's going to be good news, because that means the car is pretty much ready to go. But if it's the intake manifold, I don't think I'll be doing that, because you've got these things you're gonna have to take off, and they don't make these harnesses anymore, if they ever did. So once this disintegrates, you're not going to be able to get that. You're not going to be able to get this. I don't even know what that's for. It's a sending unit of some sort. And all these little vacuum hookups and things around it are all going to be discontinued. So it's really going to be a nightmare if I have to do this intake manifold. So I've decided that if it is the intake manifold, it's not getting done. So I'll just end up buying a new car, and this one will end up being parked out back in the graveyard. But I would take off this air cleaner here and show you this more in depth, but I'm doing this on my lunch break, so I don't really have that much time before I have to go back to work. I just wanted to make a little upload a little video. I meant to do it last night, but I forgot. On an update here on what's going on with the Oldsmobile. I don't know when we're gonna get videos on it next. I guess I'm gonna replace that EGR gasket and possibly the valve too, and maybe put a clamp on that line back there. And then maybe the problem will be fixed. But apart from that, that's all I got going on here with the Oldsmobile. Mercury it's still running. The engine doesn't have much power. So I'm gonna have to figure out why it's not making any power. It's got a misfire and some other things. It is insured now though, so I should be able to drive it around as soon as I can fix it up a little bit. But yeah, that's what's been going on here at the shop. Hopefully that EGR gasket is the culprit and not the whole intake manifold gasket. But one can only hope. I'll see you in the next one.